Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today we are covering the first Omen. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So, we were trying to be ironic, and we are drinking...
I'm trying to be ironic. I just have a sense of humor.
Okay. We're trying to be humorous, and we are drinking the Republic of Tea Comfort and Joy tea, which has black tea, cinnamon, natural flavor, cloves, licorice root, and apple bits. Obviously with the name Comfort and Joy, but this is a Christmas, it just smells like Christmas.
It smells like Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That's the best way to describe it. And then I'm using my Tea First Then Screams mug from our Tea Spring.
And I'm using V's Teespring mug. My condition is chronic, but my ass is iconic. It gives me a chuckle every time I use it. Thank you, V.
Yes, we quite enjoy that
yes.
mug. But thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So, Margaret has traveled to Rome to become a teacher, and her new community of nuns seem to single out one of the children, Carlita. After continuously giving Carlita more grace than the other nuns, Margaret finds out that there is more to what is going on than it seems.
I don't know about more grace. I feel like more grief.
More grief? Yeah. She's way nicer to Carlita than all the other nuns.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of the kid. What's the kid's name?
Carlita.
Oh, well then yeah, she was being thrown in an isolation room.
But Margaret wasn't throwing her in the isolation room.
Well, no.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say is Margaret was nicer to Carlita than the other nuns, and because
my brain interpreted it differently. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
Ma'am.
I apparently need more caffeine. I'm sorry. My brain interpreted that entirely differently.
Yes. I'm not saying, more grace as, she's being nicer to Carlita than the other nuns were being to her. To Carlita.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, for entertainment...
Starting off strong. Let's go. This is fine. This is why sleep is important, guys.
So, this movie was honestly a pretty big dud for me. This story has been beaten to death, and they did it the same way that all the other ones do.
It's a prequel of a reboot that nobody asked for.
And it lasts way longer. Anyway, so this is the highest I can give it. I give it a 6.25. And it's just it just feels overdone by this point. And it's one of the things where it's okay, if I put the overdoneness and everything in and think of this movie in isolation, it's done decently, but it feels overdone. And I don't know if you felt this way, but I feel like they were trying to make it a twist that Margaret was the one carrying Damien versus Carlita, but it's they talk about it in the beginning with the two priests, and then
the big reveal wasn't exactly a big reveal.
Well, but it's the way that they do it is they talk about it oh, she's a teenager now, blah, 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 blah. And then they switch over and show Margaret. It's you can only assume that is who you are referring to. And then they're like, no, it's a red herring. We're trying to make it seem like Carlita. And you're like, no, it's Margaret. And then whenever they reveal it's Margaret, it's like...
The whole movie's been about her.
It's like, we know it's Margaret. We've known the whole time.
You're not clever.
Like, they made it so obvious.
So predictable.
Yeah, like... The twist was just like so lackluster. It can't even be called a twist because they tell you who it is, and then they like later on they're like, "Oh, isn't that surprising?" It's like, no, it's not.
No. Called that 10 miles back. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like literally from the very beginning. This is what we have assumed. But yeah, and I think so. It's like it just feels. Just like a lackluster movie, because it's like, you know, from them doing the weird, like, oh, it's a twist, even though it's not really. But then also, they made the movie way too damn long. And they also, from the very beginning, tried to make it so dramatic as fuck. But then, it's like when you start off that strong, they're not really building up to
They're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and so it just stays stagnant the entire time. And so it was very hard to get through this movie. And honestly, every time they cut to black, I'm like, thank God this movie is over. And then it kept going.
Over.
It was not over. It happened to me 2 or 3 times. I'm like, God damn it, I am sick of this movie.
Scene change.
I remember the first time it happened, I went to like look at how much was left, and there's still like 30 minutes left. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, please.
Put me out of my misery.
Yeah. Like, make this end. So it just sucks because it's like, I feel like if they had done the twist a lot better and like made it a lot more like, you know, if it was less focused on Margaret and more focused on Carlita, and then it switched and be like, oh, you know, it's actually Margaret, then that would have been a lot better. Like, so if they had drastically improved the twist, and if they had started more slow and slowly like snowballed, and also made the movie shorter, I feel like it would have been so much better. But that is not what we got. And I do not recommend this movie. Suffice it to say.
I give it a 5.5. This movie's a big fat blah. Like, I'm not mad that I saw it. It wasn't a bad movie per se. It's gonna fade into the background. Again, it's a prequel that we never asked for. From a reboot that we also never asked for. So, I don't care. I don't care. And they don't really make me care about any of the characters per se, apart from, like, how Carlita is treated. But that's more of a humanitarian issue.
Yeah.
So they should have focused, I agree. They should have focused more on Carlita. And they said that she's like having hallucinations and all this, and Margaret's able to connect with her because she had similar issues growing up. And how she tried to run away and all that. So, if they had shown some of Carlita's quote-unquote hallucinations, and some of the spoops around her, and why she's acting out and everything, and then just casually mention it while Margaret's connecting with Carlita, instead of focusing so hard on Margaret. Like the entire movie. There were times I forgot who Carlita was. Like when they were talking about her, I'm like, which person is this? Because they showed her so little by that point. And we are awful with names. Help a girl out. But again, they don't make you care that much. Yeah. About most of the characters, honestly. I didn't remember who the priest dude was at first. They showed him at the very beginning, and then he showed up randomly in the middle and is like, have these things started to happen? I need information. You need to get it for me. And I'm like, who are you again? Why are you asking for this information?
It's been an hour since we've seen you.
Who
a lot
are
has happened since
Why
then.
are you randomly coming up to a random nun and asking for information? Who are you?
Who are you? No, but it's like
Why do we care?
It's like the music was trying to tell you, hey, you should be scared.
This is an ominous scene.
Like,
there are
no.
bad things going on. I'm like, we've seen maybe one spoopy thing. Maybe. And that's it. Yeah. It had a couple of moments here and there of almost spoop. Like that one scene in her room shortly after she arrived at the hotel type place. That it was like a nun.
Yeah.
In her outfit, basically in the corner of her room.
Yeah.
That was somewhat spoopy. And I'm like, okay, now we're finally starting to get somewhere. Really? Nope. That was about it until toward the end of the movie.
Yep.
And by that point, I didn't care.
Yeah.
Though, can we talk about the invisible demon sex scene? As soon as she got out of the taxi?
Yeah, there's some very strange scenes.
I was watching it. I had to back it up and show it to my husband and be like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Like, is she getting railed by a demon right now? And we're just not seeing any of it. Because that's honestly kind of what it looked like. It was so confusing. I'm like, what is happening right now?
It's like, what is this movie?
And at that point, it was just ridiculous. And again, I didn't care at that point. And they were talking about, oh, she should be pregnant at this point, and she's supposed to give birth at like midnight. And I'm like, she ain't showing at all. You sure you got the right girl? And then she gets out of the car, gets railed by the demon, apparently. And then the gestation period for twins is about half an hour.
To be fair, they are evil. Evil. Evil doesn't need as much gestation.
Okay. It's very inconsistent in the movie. It's very confusing in the movie. And again, it's just one giant blah. By the end of it, I didn't care. I just didn't. I didn't care. And I didn't understand. Well, we'll get to that in the realism. Never mind. We'll get to that in a minute. But that's what I got on entertainment. It's a skippable one. It doesn't matter. It gets to the same place that the reboot starts off at. So it don't matter.
Yeah.
Skip.
Yeah. So for realism, I give it a 2, but it's like, this movie's so blah that it's like, I can't even... Well, okay, first of all, it's like, to be fair, I'm not religious, so what do I know? But I did grow up Christian. And so, like, how does it make sense?
It doesn't.
That the Antichrist would be inside of a nun, supposed to be one of the holiest figures that you can be. And the fact that, she was then carrying it.
Dude, the sire is being held in the place with no issues. Like, they're keeping it in a curtained off section of an underground area that's not very secure, it seems like. And they're just assuming it's gonna stay there. But apparently it doesn't need to necessarily copulate right there. Apparently it can do it from afar.
Well, also, it's
invisibly.
It's also weird and kind of creepy that the church is that obsessed for, like, trying to have the birth of the Antichrist. Like, you know...
Because they feel like they can control it.
But it's like, okay, I can understand that they're trying to, like, get Armageddon for Revelation, have, you know, Christ come again. But at the same time, I'm like, wouldn't it make more sense to have, like, this weird cult of, like, Satanists or something? Because it's, you know,
it would.
It's a church-type movie. So it's like, have, like, Satanists come and, like...
It would.
I don't know.
It would make so much more sense. Because they weren't even saying that they were trying to bring about Armageddon. They were trying to... have the Antichrist born so that they could control him, so that they could gain more followers.
But then they still gave him away, or were planning to give him away to...
Because they thought they could control the family, and thus control him and influence him. Which is stupid reasoning, and makes no sense.
Yeah. A lot of like WTFs in this movie. A lot of choices were made that weren't good. I
couldn't even bother to give this one a rating for realism until now. I give it maybe a 2.
It's like, I feel
maybe
like
a 2.
Bad Omens is a better setup than this movie, because at least with Bad Omens, it was demons that were like, here's the Antichrist. He was born from Satan.
Keep an eye on him. They both have to keep an eye on him. Such a better setup and more entertaining. Way more entertaining. Oh my god, this movie. And they're like, none of the babies survived except maybe this one. But they had to keep breeding with the same damn thing over and over and over. The same sire over and over. To try to get the Antichrist. And they just happen to keep birthing females. So... Okay, one, how is it possible that only one of them survived? Obviously, again, big reveal wasn't that big a reveal. And two, when she birthed twins... I find it hard to believe that they would have basically tried to cast aside the female twin that was born, because what if the male had something wrong with it internally and wouldn't have survived? What if something happened to it and a different sect in the church was like, oh, this is a bad idea, kill it. Like, there's so many what ifs. Wouldn't you kind of want more females around just in case they needed to try again?
Also, I love how the priest was like, oh, don't worry, Margaret. I'm going to be here for you. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. Proceeds to have her cut open with no painkillers and, like no medical procedure, and she's like, over here, like, I think
they gave her a local anesthetic, which isn't going to do much for that kind of procedure.
Yeah.
Because you have to move organs.
Yeah, because you're like...
whole organs out of the way.
And then cut open into an organ.
A C-section is not a simple thing. The fact that she even survived... is in and of itself kind of a miracle in the movie sense. That didn't make sense at all. Everything was a big fat no. It just,
Yeah, they could have done it so differently and made it so much better.
And again, we don't care because nobody asked for this movie.
Right. Just watch Bad Omens and call it a day.
Yes, you'll have a better time. It'll be a lot more entertaining. It'll probably make more sense.
Better. Yeah. But yeah. So, did you rate it for realism?
I give it a 2.
Okay.
I feel like that's probably a little generous, but I gave it a 2.
Yeah.
The interactions between the people made kind of sense. I guess.
And I feel like, is it me, or I feel like these movies just show the Catholic Church in such a bad light.
Yeah.
Like,
I ain't gonna go there.
but anyways,
We don't have all day.
So there's a lot of things that they could/should have done differently, and this movie is very lackluster. You can skip this one; you're not missing much. If you want to see it, fine, but
It's not
long.
going to impact the storyline in and of itself that much.
Yep.
If at all.
Yep. So, yep. Thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord server. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
If you'd like to support us monetarily, we have a Teespring and PayPal, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea available. It does not affect the price of the tea. It just allows us to continue to do what we love. You can find all of those sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye.